beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about some new GloWish products from Huda Beauty. There's a new Luminous pressed powder, and there are also 4 new blushes. All of these products were sent to me in PR. They are currently available on the Huda Beauty website. They're not showing up on the Sephora site yet, but I have a feeling that they will eventually be available there also. So I'll keep an eye out on Sephora's website, and then I'll update the description box if and when these products pop up there. Let's start with the pressed powder. This is priced at $33 US, and it comes in 13 shades. I just want to show you a screenshot of all the models wearing the different shades. Something about this picture I just really liked. Obviously, all of these people are super gorgeous and they are probably models, but they just look like real people. I love this one guy that's laughing. He just looks really happy. I don't know. I really like this picture. Something about it is just very pleasing. Product photography, especially on brand websites, can just feel a little bit cold and lifeless to me. So anyway, let's move on. All of the products that we're talking about today, so the pressed powder and the blushes, are cruelty-free, vegan, fragrance-free, and all of the packaging is made with 30% post-consumer materials. We saw these same elements with the GloWish bronzer and the GloWish multi-dew skin tint. So they're definitely making a push towards these more vegan formulas, more sustainable type of packaging. So I think that's cool. A lot of people are looking for these types of things. So not only is it a good thing just in general to do environmentally, but it's also a really smart business move. Also, like the GloWish bronzer, these powders are made in Italy. So you can see both of them have the Made in Italy label on the back. The powder says that it has a silky glow, it's a buildable coverage, and it's also supposed to be a blurring type of powder. You will get to see this in action, so you'll get to see for yourself if that's true or not. We have this frosted lightweight plastic compact. Again, very similar to the bronzer packaging. No mirror inside, of course, because you can see through the lid. And I know pressed powder isn't super exciting, but I'll show you a close-up anyway. We're here, so you might as well. It's very, very soft and silky to the touch. And you can see there is a decent amount of coverage if you build it up. You can tell here it is actually visible, so you can wear it more sheer, of course, like I would a powder, but you can get a little bit of coverage from this powder if you want it. Next, let's talk about the cheeky vegan GloWish blushes. This blush comes in 4 shades, and these are priced at $21 US each. I've been asking for Huda blushes all year long. If you go back and watch some of my previous videos, definitely the Glow Obsessions, the little highlighter quad palettes, probably in the GloWish bronzer review as well, I've been saying I wanted to see a blush release. So here my wishes, my glow wishes have been fulfilled. Thank you, Huda Beauty, for that. Now, I think the packaging on these is really cute. It definitely has continuity with the other releases in this line. My only complaint is that all of them are the same color. I wish that the lids coordinated with the blush color inside. Not only would that be really cute, but it would also be useful if you have all of these or have a few of them. You would know which one you were grabbing without having to open them up or flip them over and read the shade labels on the back. But that's a pretty small complaint overall, I think. Here's a close-up look at the blush packaging. Like I said, these all look exactly the same on the outside. It's just the shade name labels on the back that differentiate them. All of these compacts have a locking clasp closure, so they are not magnetic. And then the blushes actually do have a little mirror inside, unlike the powders and the bronzers. I've been playing with these and swatching them for a few days now, so the swirl pattern is kind of messed up. If you want to see what these looked like fresh, go and check out my TikTok video where I did close-ups and swatches with these. I'll put my TikTok username up on the screen here. That way you can see what these looked like fresh, since I have kind of swirled them around. They're not quite as lovely as they once were. This is shade number 1, Healthy Peach. Shade number 2 is Caring Coral. This is shade 3, Berry Juicy. This one's my favorite, and it's the one that I'm wearing today, so you'll get to see this applied and how it wears in the wear test. And this is the 4th and final shade, Charming Cherry. This is the 4th and final shade, Charming Cherry. Now I'll show you a quick arm swatch of all 4 shades. That way you can see what these look like applied to the skin. These powders are super soft. I was expecting a little bit more bouncy formula from these, almost like a Super Shock type of texture, and I don't know why. I guess just because of the appearance in the pan when they were fresh, they had a sort of spongy look to them. But these have the same texture as the GloWish bronzer, which is a super soft, silky powder, but it doesn't have that cream to powder feel like a Super Shock does. Next, I'm going to show you the product demo so you can see these powders in action, and I'm also going to show you my wear test check-in so you can see how these lasted throughout the day, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I want to start off with a close-up of what I look like before applying the powder. I'm just wearing a little bit of tinted moisturizer and a little tiny bit of concealer as our base or starting point. I'm going to use the shade number 2, Fair Light, in the Luminous Pressed Powder, and I'm using the Huda powder brush. I'm going to apply this to one side of my face first, just to see if we can tell a difference between the powdered and not powdered side. For me, it does look like there's a little bit of coverage with this powder, and a little bit of a, not really a mattifying, but it just definitely sets down that moisturizer and gives me a little bit of that blurred look that I was promised by the claims. So I think this does live up to its claims. Now let's apply some of the blush. I'm using shade number 3, Berry Juicy, and I'm using the Huda blush and bronzer brush for this. I really like this for applying bronzer as well. I have 2 of these brushes and I really enjoy them. Kind of a sleeper pick here from this video. I do love a good side-by-side comparison, and this blush adds such a nice natural flush. It's not shimmery, but it definitely has a bit of a healthy glow to it, and I really, really like the way that this looks and feels on my skin. It is definitely there, it's showing up, it's giving me a little punch of color, but it was very easy to blend out, and I think that it looks quite natural and just overall really nice and wearable on the skin. So I like the way this looks a lot. Time for my first check-in. I've only been wearing this makeup for about 2 hours. We're gonna have to do a little sped up version of this wear test because I'm probably gonna need to finish this video before I go pick my son up from school. But I feel like we should be able to get a pretty decent idea of how this does. I did finish my eyeshadow. This has been my go-to quick everyday look. It's with the NARS Climax palette. I just love this look. I keep going back to it because it's such a no-brainer and it looks really good all day long, as you will inevitably see. Anyway, this video is not about the eyeshadow palette, it's about the face powders. I didn't add any bronzer, no highlighter, no setting spray. I'm not going to do anything to interfere with these powders. We're just going to see how they wear on their own all day. And honestly, I really like this look. I love a easy breezy, lazy makeup look, so here we have it. Let's get up close with these powders and see how they're holding up so far. Seems like the blush is hanging on well. I know it's only been a couple of hours, but some blush can disappear in a matter of an hour or 2, so I'm happy to see this is hanging on so well, especially because I didn't put a ton on. My chin and around my mouth does tend to be a really dry area for me, so let's see how the powder's hanging on. It looks very, very natural and very skin-like, especially because I do feel like I got some coverage from the powder. Forehead's looking pretty good. Little forehead wrinkles are not too terrible. Let's see the under eye. Honestly, it's not quite as luminous as I would like. In the under eye area, it does look a little bit dry here for me, but I do think that the powder looks really great on the rest of my face, so I probably just shouldn't use it under my eyes. Yeah, a little bit of the same over here. Maybe looks a little bit more dry under the eye than I would like, but the rest of the face seems to be holding up really well. I'm going to do a little bit of video editing. I'm going to pack up and ship some orders from my Etsy store, and then I'll check back in a few hours and we'll see if my blush is still visible and see how this powder looks on my face. So I will see you back here in a few hours. For me, for you, it'll be literally right now. It's time for my final check-in. I wish that I had a longer wear test for these. I've only been wearing for about 5 hours total, but I think that's still a pretty substantial amount of time. And you know, when you're living the mom life, having 5 hours of anything at a time is pretty miraculous. So I'm not too mad about it. Let's just see how these powders held up. I did not touch up my powders at all. The only reapplications that happened today were my lip products, since I'm wearing this little tinted lip balm. Before we get to the close up, you know, HD all up in my pores and wrinkles and stuff, I have to say from just this distance, which is a more conversational distance, I think it looks fabulous. Let's get up in the nitty gritty and see if it looks as good, super zoomed in, as it does just at this regular speaking distance. So the blush is still visible. I do think it looks like it probably wore off a little bit. I didn't do anything too strenuous today. I just worked here in my office, made myself some lunch. A pretty low-key regular day for me. I didn't have to wear a mask or anything like that because I've just been home all day. I do think this side looks more worn off than this side. Do you think so? Or am I imagining that? I think this side looks like it didn't hold up as well as this side did. I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess. I mean, if we get really, really close up, I do think the powder has a little bit of a dry look on the skin here. Chin looks okay. Nose is okay. We did not develop nose gunk throughout the day, so that's great. I still think the under eye looks a little bit dry, but I decided during the first check-in that this just is better as a face powder and not under the eyes, which is fine. I mean, that's user error. Looks like we got a little bit of concealer creasy junk here. It's just one of those things that happens. Forehead still looks really good though. Maybe looks a little bit dry over here like the other side. Not too bad though. You have to get really, really close up to my skin to see any of those little dry looking patches, any of the little concealer creases or anything like that. So I don't want anybody that close to my face. So I would say, just judging from how it looks at a normal, not zoomed in distance, I think it looks really, really nice. I do like the way the blush looks a little bit more than the powder. I will keep working with the powder because it does feel so nice to the touch, and I definitely did get some of that blurring effect that the packaging claims this powder has. I do still prefer the finish of this Tarte Shape Tape Glow powder. However, this only comes in, I think, 3 shades, and the Huda powder comes in 13, so obviously the shade range is a lot better. And if you're not looking for glowy, luminous face powder, then the Huda one's gonna work better for you, because this one is a lot more luminous. After wearing these products all day, I have to say both of them worked quite well for me. I do prefer the blush over the powder just a little bit. However, I feel like I learned some things from wearing this powder today. I'm gonna skip the under eye area, and I'm also gonna try this with my usual dewy setting spray. I think this powder will really, really benefit from a little bit of a hydrating setting spray on top. That's gonna help mitigate some of the little bit of dryness that developed throughout the day. And I don't have any problem with that. That setting spray is a normal part of my routine. So I feel like I've figured out a lot about this powder, and I do think that this is going to become something that I really, really enjoy. However, for me, the blushes are the star of the show. I love blush, and I am so excited. I've been wanting Huda blushes for so long. My favorite is shade number 3, Berry Juicy, but these are all really pretty. I see these working for a variety of skin tones. I would love to see even more shades come out. A more brown-based kind of terracotta nude, maybe one deeper brownish nude. I think this is a great start. I do want to see more because I'm a fiend for blush, but all in all, this is a really great release for Huda Beauty, a great addition to their line, and something that I know I'm going to keep using and keep reaching for. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about these products. Are any of these on your wish list? Which blush color is your favorite? What kind of colors do you want to see them add to their blush line? I'm always interested in what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Let's start somewhere. Killing it. Dang it. Okay. You're welcome for making it awkward. Alright. Kind of the standard for me. Anyway. We've switched from water to Dr. Pepper, so that's how you know it's that afternoon time when you just need to re-up the caffeine, you know? About how how pretty is this nail polish? It's this one from Light's Lacquer called Alexandrite. Oh my gosh. I feel like a spooky scarab beetle is on my nails, and I really like that feeling. Was that weird? I don't know. Maybe. It's on brand for me. I will see you soon, okay? I love your face. Bye!